Hey guys, this is Alessio Summerfield, the host of Metal Gear Mondays, and you are listening to a backlog episode of Metal Gear Monday. So if you guys hear any mention of Geek Time, the Geek Time network is since defunct, and now Metal Gear Mondays is a part of the original lineup of podcast shows from Forever and Astronaut. If you guys want to take advantage of our Patreon to get really cool exclusive content and speak with other fans, as well as talk directly to the hosts and the guests, you can go to patreon.com/foreveranastronaut. $5 a month on Patreon will get you access to all of our original shows, including Dev Diary Season 1 and future shows. So if you want to support the studio and support content like what you're listening to, please be sure to go to patreon.com/foreveranastronaut or foreveranastronaut.com to check out the rest of our lineup of shows, as well as short films, blog posts, and other goodies. If you want to write into the show, the new write-in information is contact@foreveranastronaut.com, or you can utilize the facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Metal Gear Mondays, the podcast where we play through the entire Metal Gear franchise one step at a time as a little book club. As always, I'm your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I'm joined by Sam Wright.
Step by step, day by day, run and tell that. Patrick Duffy.
And Isaac Lim.
Hi, hello. Hey.
And today we are diving into our part 6 of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Seis en español.
For the
It was not that funny.
for those of you guys playing at home, we did not have a proper episode last week due to just crazy scheduling nightmare and the holidays and all that jazz. We hope that everybody had a fantastic New Year and a Merry Gear Solid Christmas, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or Solstice, or Festivus, or anything, Yule, or just a day
for the heathens out there.
I hope you just had a good day. But yeah, so now we're back to regularly scheduled programming. We're going to preface this episode a little bit to essentially announce that we are going to be experimenting a little bit with a format change. Essentially what we are going to do is have the mainline episodes happen bi-weekly. So 2 weeks from now, you will be hearing Metal Gear Solid 2 coverage part 7, aka probably the final part for the story stuff. But between this episode and the next one, and every off week, we're going to be having sort of like a off-the-record kind of extra episode where we read you guys' responses live on the air and give you guys feedback. You guys can criticize or correct or let us know if we fucked anything up, and we'll address that as well. But we really, really, really want to hear you guys' stories. I cannot stress this enough. We love all of the wonderful emails and Facebook messages that we've been getting telling us how good of a job that we're doing. However, that only goes so far as content goes. It helps our ego a lot and helps motivate us to do this.
It helped me buy Egos.
Yeah, it helps our Lego collection. But what we really, really want is we want stories from you guys. So if we play a part and we're like, all three of us are like, oh, that part was super easy, blah, 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 blah. We'd love to be able to be like, oh, well, listener number 237 said that part fucking sucked, and this is why. And so we want you guys' stories. So specifically for future episodes, we will announce in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and say, between now, you guys have 2 weeks to get us information about the endgame content. So without spoiling too much right now, I'm just going to say, what did you guys think of the twist to the fans? We'd love to hear what you think of the twist. Is the twist worth the gameplay? Tell us what you think about Metal Gear Solid 2 as a whole. Did you enjoy it? A lot of people fucking hated it when they first played it, so we'd love to hear that as well. And yeah.
I actually did have something about something we did last episode. If you want me to share it now, or if you want me to wait, but
Okay. We can share all the last episode stuff in this week's extra episode. So
Okay.
everybody at home will get to hear that next week. So essentially, if you've been listening to us thus far, all of the mailbag kind of stuff, we want to dedicate like a whole episode to mailbag and like deleted scenes. And partially it's coming from the feedback that we've gotten from you guys, because we've gotten a lot of people that have said, you guys are doing a great job. Literally just can't get enough. I want to hear more. And in this way, we can do more without having to do more with our time, if that makes sense.
just can't get enough.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough. Cue it here.
Damn it.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
So there's the Depeche Mode sample right there for you. But yeah, so that's pretty much how we're gonna try it. And sadly, I hope this doesn't happen, but if we don't get enough sort of listener comments or listener stories, we'll have to kind of revert back to our original format. But I wanted to give it a shot. And I will go ahead and tell everybody, make sure you listen next week, because we actually had a fan of the show send us some original music that they really, really did a great job with, and we'd love to share that with you guys. So shout out to TJ. Yeah, so we're just going to move.
The artist formerly known as Aperion.
Yeah,
Because we're calling him TJ from now on, because that's easier to say.
exactly. So without any further ado, Isaac, can you remember what we did last episode?
Goodness.
Fumbling in the dark with Isaac Lim.
All right. Do you want me to start?
Pressure's on.
Put the clock TikToks right here, if you will.
Put the music from the dramatic half of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
From the dramatic half of what?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they have like that exciting like upbeat music when you're thinking about it, but then like they have the dramatic, like you're about to go for like $500,000, so we gotta put the dramatic music in here now.
Where it's like,
And then
Yeah.
it's
Like a little heart.
so what color were they, Isaac?
purple.
Oh god.
That is
Dang it! No.
the right answer. You won $500,000.
Well, if we're gonna do that, you got to give me multiple choice question.
Oh, but you had already used your lifelines. You were just down to 2.
Oh snap.
Dang.
So now you don't have any more lifelines for the rest of the game. All right, anyway, but Isaac, on a serious note.
Anyway, so
What happened last week? Option A. I'm kidding. I was going to give you 4. Multiple choice.
Last week, if you were keeping up with us, we went and shoot. You know what? I had it in my head before we were recording, and now I
It
can't
involved
remember.
water.
Is this
And
a bunch of swimming.
And a Hungarian man.
Oh, all right.
Darian, man. Oh man.
Or
You know what,
Romanian,
Regis?
excuse me.
You know what, Regis? I remembered from my college days, and I'm gonna go with we fought Vamp.
Oh.
Final answer.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Are you sure that's your final answer? That was the worst. That was the worst, Regis.
It's pretty bad.
Thank you for playing Who Wants to Be a Billionaire?
I've got to go take some Percocet.
Oh boy.
You are correct. We did some swimming. Well, we did some swimming and we fought them.
And we potentially killed him again.
Yes, potential.
Oh, and I wanted to let you guys know, so through my patented handy dandy, I've got multiple versions of the game that I'm trying to play along with, and I'm a dumbass and doesn't use my cloud saves. I tried to, my Vita save had not been updated with the PS3 save, because it doesn't do it automatically. You have to like manually tell the cloud save to update. And I was nowhere near my house, so I just said fuck it and played through it again. The vamp fight using the PlayStation Vita and trying to kill him with a trank was a fucking nightmare. And I will say this, I did not realize while he's in the water, if you just shoot the water at all with a stinger, it actually like diminishes his stamina gauge.
Yeah, no, we talked about that.
No,
Yeah.
I know you guys talked about like hitting him with the stinger while he was in the water.
No, I
but
talked about shooting the water.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it diminished the stamina gauge and not his health.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes him come out of the water quicker.
Ah,
Or
gotcha.
Because it's so oxygenated that doing damage to it like makes it hard for him to breathe.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, so I ended up reverting to that, and it was impossible to trank him in the latter half of the fight because he would just move so quickly. So I just said fuck it, took the damage, and just punched him in the face. And that's how I ended up getting through it. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, good job, Isaac. That is in fact what we did last week.
Whoop, whoop.
Sweet.
Woo, woo.
Sam, what are we doing this week?
This week, we're on a rescue mission. So, after the battle with Vamp, we discussed finding Emma Emmerich, who is clearly Otacon's sister, as it has been explained to us, and we're going to locate her because she's the only one who can stop Arsenal because of her program to infect GW. So, Vamp told us that she's in the next chamber, but that she's probably dead. So good luck. And now we have to swim after her and find her.
Sweet. Yeah, I would agree with that. Sorry, I was
Well,
just
good, because that's what happened.
I was looking at my notes. I was looking at my notes for a second, and I noticed two quick things. One of which is to revise from episode 13, but another one is one thing that I noticed early on at this point. So right before the Vamp fight, if you're swimming around in the water before you come across Peter Stillman's body, you can actually find the night vision goggles, which I only stumbled across playing through it again redundantly, and I don't think we brought it up in the episode.
No, we didn't. I did it by accident, but I remember them being down there somewhere.
Yeah. And then likewise too, right before, so between leaving Vamp's boss fight and then getting to EE's like holding cell, I guess, there's more water, and
More mines there.
and if you can just like hang a quick left and be in EE's little area, you get to the cutscene, blah 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 blah, and you could totally potentially miss another little section. But if you keep going forward and then hang a left, you can actually find the body armor, which I did not realize until this playthrough.
I think I actually
I
picked
feel
that
like
up.
you get the body armor another place.
Can you get it somewhere
sure?
else as well?
Because that's where I
Where'd
picked
you
it
pick it up at? Oh, in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I'd completely forgotten about that. So, and I will say too, getting to play through with my Vita again, I actually managed to get the AK-74U silencer this time as well. So
When you were doing flips over the fire?
when I was flipping, but
Gotcha. Flip, yeah, dog.
flip, yeah. But yeah, also before you open EE's locker, once you get to her little holding cell, pro tip: open every other fucking locker but hers. Because, and I definitely playing on the Vita, and we'll get to this point. Playing on the Vita, you need this item later, which is the fucking thermal goggles, specifically for the sniping portion that's gonna happen. Because sweet mother of Christ, it is. A, it's really hard to see on such a small screen. B, it's really hard to see whenever you're riding in a car and there's sun everywhere. So the thermals saved my ass.
Yeah.
So, but then, like Sam alluded to a couple episodes ago, we see EE, and she pisses herself just like her brother. Mm-hmm. Sam, can you tell us about the cutie in the locker?
Well, Emma Emmerich is interesting. She's got the temperament of a toddler. She's got attitude. And she pees like her brother does. And she also hates water, which is wonderful because we have to go through a bunch of that.
Yep. Isaac, what did you think of your run into EE?
Very much similar to Sam's over there. She is very much like her brother. in the fact that she whines a lot and pees her pants a lot. And yeah, I mean, she was. How old is she? I don't know if I should.
I think
say,
she's supposed to be like young 20s, isn't she?
Oh wait, really?
Old
Or is she
old
younger?
enough.
Oh,
I don't think she's. I think she. I doubt she's in her teens because I think she's early 20s.
Oh, that would. I was getting the vibe that she was like in her teens.
Well,
But
I
it
think
would
we
make
talked about.
sense.
I think we talked about how she kind of. So Sam, you're telling us about before how like some Japanese stereotypes for like archetypes for women. There's the whole like damsel in distress, like
Yeah.
whiny kid girl.
Yeah, the tsundere damsel in distress kind of.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's funny. After we recorded that episode, I was actually looking into some stuff, and I think I've actually heard that phrase before. But my buddy James, who mentioned it, always said tsundere. So is that the same word? Or is that
I've
a
only
different-
ever heard it. It's the same word, I think, but I've only ever heard it pronounced with the a at the end.
Oh, okay.
So tsundere, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha. No, I just wasn't sure if it was the same thing or a different thing.
Tsundere sounds French.
Also, another thing that I noticed is Jennifer Hale voices EE. Is that the same Jennifer Hale from Mass Effect?
Yes, it is.
Very cool.
Oh wow.
Jennifer Hale. I'm pretty sure Jennifer Hale voices Naomi too.
Oh, I think you're right, actually. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, and I guess just running through my notes real quick before we push through. Definitely EE plays into the whole like Metal Gear Solid theme of like family issues. I feel like every single character in Metal Gear has like not necessarily daddy issues, but just like problems with someone in their family because
Yeah.
it's like Naomi and her brother Gray Wolf or Gray Fox, excuse me. I was thinking fucking Star Fox for a second. Naomi and her brother, and then you've got Snake and his quote unquote dad. And now we have Hal and his sister and their situation. And like everybody has like,
Their situation that we're gonna learn a lot more than we're comfortable with
yes.
about.
And then there's Olga and her dad. I don't know. There's just like a lot of family stuff. And there's always the things aren't what they seem and people assisting each other since being a loner isn't viable. I feel like those are kind of like mission statements for Metal Gear.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then in a weird way, we have this like, I don't know, I thought it was weird to me that like Raiden proves to EE that the only way that he's like really there to save her is because he also has the use of the codec.
Yeah, which I don't know that I would trust because several people have use of the codec that I wouldn't necessarily trust.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's this weird codec conversation where like Hal and EE are like arguing with each other, but Snake is like the middleman.
Yeah.
EE is just like, you tell him, and Snake's like, Hal. EE said, and Hal's like, well, you go tell her, and it's like, why are we listening to this?
It's like why is the legendary soldier Solid Snake being a go-between between this family's fucked up problems?
Yeah, he's like the counselor, like the therapist.
God, Solid Snake camp counselor.
Solid Snake family therapist. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting too because Raiden's like hyper inquisitive in this section, which is to me kind of mirrored a lot of the same questions that the players would have. I definitely wrote down the Patriots are great in theory, but some of the examples are hilariously specific. So the whole like the gene example that they gave was like, I don't know. It was like super ridiculous where it was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but genetic scientists have actually been subject to the Patriots' information control already. And I was just like, I don't understand why this hyper-specific like group of people is like, I don't know, like of all people, it's like scientists are already being duped by the Patriots. And it goes like super in-depth. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just picturing you
Okay. Okay.
just playing your Vita and okay.
I just like look at the screen, roll my eyes, and I'm like, okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, and then again, we talk about the whole Patriot subsystem for GW was released globally during Y2K. And I actually thought it was really interesting. EE mentions that there's a complex experiment for GW that's supposed to be upcoming. That GW is going to use as like a study exercise. So I don't know. There's a lot of information in this cutscene.
Yeah, was this when we learned? We learned that that there was a subroutine essentially for GW that was installed in pretty much every computer during the Y2K crisis.
Yeah.
And that's like,
and that's globally
that's
too.
gonna be that's globally.
It
So
was
that's
like-
gonna be like the big test for it.
It was like a countermeasure to the Y2K crisis or whatever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
which for the longest time, I don't know. And we haven't really talked too much about this, but I'm sure we will in our post sort of show wrap up on Metal Gear Solid 2. But I feel like in a lot of ways, at least for me, Kojima and company used Metal Gear Solid 2 as a way to just like, not necessarily predict, but like I feel like somebody at Kojima Productions was researching a shit ton on conspiracy theories. Because there are so many conspiracy theories that kind of show up in this game that I remember in 2001 when I played this that I didn't even realize were conspiracy theories. So the whole like, Y2K was a front for people to do malicious shit. Like after Metal Gear Solid 2, I definitely started seeing like around the internet, like people being like, yeah, Y2K is a conspiracy. They use that to install shit in everybody's computers, like not even related to Metal Gear Solid 2, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just I don't know, it was crazy. And so I was like, wow, this is way to deep dive and then use that information to make like a compelling like I guess espionage plot. But yeah, Isaac, do you have any thoughts between... So essentially my notes have a gap between this cutscene and getting EE to the elevator. So would you guys like to talk about your exploits with EE?
Can I go really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So the first thing that happens is what Raiden tells her is to listen to his heartbeat. And when his heartbeat gets to 100, they'll be on the other side.
Oh yeah.
And she says, "What if it gets close to 100 and we're not there yet?" And he says, "Well, I'll try and swim faster," or something stupid like that. And I'm like, dude, you're the least reassuring person I've ever come across in my life, and you're fictional. It's like I wouldn't trust you with anything.
I remember when he said that, my immediate first thought was, I wonder if I could play like a heartbeat sound and see if I could literally get to the other side before the 100th beat.
Yeah,
But
it seems like a lot of work for kind of a throwaway line.
yeah, it was
Because I
weird.
know for a fact that it didn't. Well, maybe it took me way less than 100, but who knows? And then does the count restart if you have to service for air? Like I don't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, or is she like, or are you surfacing for air and she's still holding her breath? Which is really funny to think about. But before you get into the water, she has to take off her glasses, which she doesn't need. She just wears them because, quote, this guy I like used to wear them,
I wonder
Which
who
I-
that guy could be.
which is heavily implied that it's Hal. Right?
Oh yeah, that's what I took away
Oh
from it.
man. But she said my boyfriend, right? Or something like that.
No, I think she said a boy I used to like or something.
I think Raiden said boyfriend, and she was like, no.
Oh.
I like how they had this little spat before they went in the water too. Like I don't know if it
Yeah.
was here or the second time. I think it's in the Vamp arena. But he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're one of those girls," and she's like, "You don't know anything about me. Just watch out." And I was like, "What is this weird like flirting?" I was
You
just like,
just
"This
watch
is
your back.
yeah." I was like, "What
And
the
then, like-
fuck is happening?"
And then like she tells him that like what they used to do when they were little is they used to play house, and Hal used to be the dad and Emma used to be the mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, this family was fucked. Like
Yeah, I'm just waiting for like You come up for air, and she's like, "And we used to play doctor," and
Oh,
just
God.
like really weird. He used to spank me for not having dinner ready after he got home
Okay.
from work.
Oh, this is getting a little dark.
It was just really uncomfortable. Oh yeah, and then there's the whole exchange about like, yeah, I saw that overgrown parakeet, and she was like, it's a parrot.
Yeah, because that parrot in the B2 of Shell 1 is her parrot, and that's why it's saying howl.
She's weird.
Rather
Yeah, 'cause
creepily.
she's really weird.
Yeah.
Rather howl, howl,
Hal sounds a lot like owl.
howl, howl, howl.
Let's just do this for another hour, guys.
Okay, this is just the episode now. Isaac, Alessio. And another thing, so you do the swimming and you get back to the place where the vamp fight was, and you take a brief break and you're talking, and I have my favorite moment, because there's been a lot of really great moments in this game, but my favorite single comedic moment, which I don't know if it's supposed to be played for humor, but that's how I took from it. So you get a call from Colonel, asking like what's going on, what your status is.
Oh, I think I remember.
And Raiden goes, "I've got Emma Emmerich. We've managed to avoid drowning." Just really like, like congratulations, dude. It's just like I'm doing this because I really need these people to hear it if they haven't played this game. Can you find a clip of that?
Oh, totally.
Raiden, what's your status?
Colonel, I've got Emma Emmerich here. We've managed to avoid drowning.
Good job.
Okay, it's just like the way he says it is wonderful. It's amazing.
A lot of
Wouldn't
this sounds
swim.
like deja vu to me, but I think it's because, and this is for the listeners. So we recorded about 45 minutes of this episode a couple days ago, and due to technical difficulties, had to completely flush it down the toilet. So if at any point me, Isaac, or Sam go, I think we mentioned that last episode, it's because we're all referring to an imaginary episode that will never come out.
Yeah.
So we apologize. But nice. Isaac, tell me about your swam to the elevator.
With Emma or without Emma? Because there is...
Oh my God, did you kill her? Isaac's like, I drowned her in
Just-
enriched oxygen.
I ran into the mines.
I actually
She,
did run into a mine this time, by the way.
Oh.
It sucked. Again, I blame the Vita.
This-
I tried to warn you. There's mines there.
I don't know. I mean, Emma could practice breathing exercises because her breath holding was pitiful. If you know what I mean.
Jeez.
0 out of
If
10.
you know what I mean. Yeah, would not
Jeez.
do. All right.
Would not do. That's
Again.
That is
0 out of 10.
would not do.
Nah, like I think she started her health started going down. I couldn't get across to the other side because it was pretty brutal.
Good God.
But I was like, I don't care, Emma, suck it up.
Yeah, and he like warns her, is like, there's a dead body in there.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like,
I don't
dead
know.
Peter's
I don't know
still
that
black man.
We didn't share
Well, the
moments
thing-
together or anything. It's just a dead
Now,
body.
we didn't share. Well, here's the thing. We talked about this. We actually did talk about this in previous episodes. Or I don't know. No, we didn't. Fuck, I don't even remember. Did they know each other?
I don't know, man. Actually is a pretty definitive word, Sam.
No, I know. it's pretty-
I don't think E
I
and
was-
Peter know each other.
I doubt
So
it.
that he would have no frame of reference for mentioning that, oh, Peter Stillman's in there.
Yeah, that's true.
She's like, who the fuck is Peter Stillman?
He turns
Hell?
bombs off.
Peter! He turns the bombs off.
But no, you know that one room where you got a maze and snake through
Oh
to the
yeah,
other side? Going
Snake through.
nailed it.
the first time was hard enough, and coming back with EE was made it kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I will say. So, I definitely kind of had the layouts, and we talked about this before, but like I could speed through the swimming pretty easily just because I've done it so many times. But I will say that I feel like the camera angle is really tight on the back of Raiden's head, or like his feet, And so with Emma on top of it, on like to just add more shit for you to like look at, I feel like they could have pulled the camera back just a little bit, because specifically when you're weaving in and out of all the mesh and like wire stuff, it is really easy to just get stuck on shit and just like not be able to get out. So
like half the time I had no idea where I was going. I was like, "Pwah, pwah." But yeah.
I will say that whole maze area, as somebody who's played the game before, was a lot easier to maneuver than I remember it being.
Well, dang, man.
Like I remember being like getting lost in like a labyrinth of bullshit before, but like it's just, it seems a lot more straightforward than it actually is, or it's a lot more straightforward than it seems to get through there. Is what I meant. So, do you guys want to know reason 684 why I don't call Rose very often?
Why?
So, I tried to save before going through the second portion of the swimming thing with Emma, and Rose throws a bitch fit about how Raiden's flirting with Emma.
Oh,
and Rose doesn't like that, and she's being very insecure and saying, like, do you think she's beautiful? He's like, I'm not pretty enough to you, I'm not your type, or whatever like that. And it's just like this huge, like, way overblown, crazy bullshit.
That's crazy. Whenever I saved, because I actually saved at that exact same spot, and whenever I saved, Rose did the whole like, I broke into your apartment and didn't see anybody in your room, so don't worry about it. Like, as like so Isaac, you remember when you were telling the story about her being like, you won't show me your room?
Yeah.
There's like a follow up, and she's like, essentially,
I broke into your room.
Yeah, essentially, she's like, I broke into your room, and Raiden's like,
oh yeah.
He's not even like upset or anything. He's just like, didn't find anything, did you? And she's like, no.
There's just
like,
a bed in there.
Freaks out. Wait, did she freak out with you guys?
I don't think he freaked out. She was sort of. Oh yeah, she was like, it's so weird to me that like one. We'll go into it as things progress, but she was like, you don't have anything. You just have a desk and a bed, and it's white walls, and there's nothing. And like, are you even a person? Like, what do you like? And I don't know. I mean, so I like Rose's character in the way that she enables us to find out more about Raiden, because I feel like nobody else could be that vehicle. And I like Rose's character in theory, but I think that the game articulates Rose to be like really naggy and really shitty, and I feel like she could have been a way stronger female character than that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it really bums me out that they went weak sauce on Rose, because I feel like she could have been cool, and I don't know. But yeah, I also don't know why she's freaking out about flirting with EE, because if I was Raiden, I'd be like, fuck no, I'm not flirting with this girl. You're 100 times cooler than this chick.
And you're both crazy.
Yeah, you're both crazy.
I think she says that she's jealous at one point.
Yeah.
Because she's like, are you attracted to her? And he says, well, she's kind of cute. And then she's like, cuter than me? And I'm like, okay, this is getting really weird and awkward. And then he has to kind of backpedal a little bit. I was
Rose shows up later and just snipes EE out from like across the shell. Spoiler alert. Well, sweet. So let's get the fuck out of this water zone real quick.
Yeah, and let's hold Emma's hand in the most mind-numbing part.
I will say, replaying it again and having Isaac talk about how he didn't think it was that bad did kind of paint it a little bit. So I thought there were things that were interesting about breaking up the gameplay to me. a little bit and adding like a caveat, because typically you can kind of, I mean, even on some of the harder difficulties, if you're smart, you can pretty much just blaze through this shit and kill everybody.
Right.
But I think having this caveat of like, well, you have to protect this person and you have to hold her hand, and if she sees a dead body, she's gonna freak out, and blah blah blah. Definitely, I don't know. It made the gameplay a little bit more interesting, or I guess it put like a cool enough wrinkle in there where it's fine that it does it just this once.
Forget dead bodies. How about bugs?
Oh, I know, yeah. Like, so Isaac, how long did it take you to figure out to use the coolant spray to scare the bugs away?
Actually, not too long, because I was like, well, maybe I can freeze them to like, so that they'll stop squirming. Because she was like, I hate bugs, they squirm. And so I think that was like one of the first things. Does she not do that? How? How? Bugs?
Oh, I forgot to mention too, I think it's weird to me that the terminal for this floor, or for this floor, no, I guess it's post vamp. The terminal's in EE's room.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The whole thing's weird. I also hate with the bugs that if there's just one left and you haven't sprayed it away, she'll still freak out.
That's what happened to me. I had to like, I thought I cleared them all, but they were all on the wall. I didn't see them, and she's, snapped back. And
she smashed and grabbed.
Smash and grab.
did that smash grab?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so we come back up to the floor where we did the whole Nikita missile thing again. Two things of note for me, at least. I think it's interesting that the president's body is not there. He's just gone, and that makes me wonder what's up with that. And then number two,
Did you go back and check?
Yeah, I went back to see if he was there, and he's not there.
Huh.
So it's interesting because while you're gone, they totally could have just like snuck his body out of there. Also, the other thing that I found interesting was I went and cleared out the floor and put guards to sleep, which I think it's cool that if they're asleep, she won't freak out about them. So it kind of adds like an extra kind of weird passive thing where it's like if you are not killing people, it'll make the game a little bit easier for this part. But the thing that pissed me off the most was I cleared out the whole floor, and then I went back to get her, and then while I was walking with her, the game just randomly spawned guards like everywhere. And it was weird because like previously they have like diegetic reasons for being there. So like you'll see a guard come in from like the stairs, or you'll see the guard come in from the hall or whatever. But I shit you not, I'm looking at the Soliton radar while we're walking, and there are blips just like popping up. Just like they're just materialize. And I was like, what the fuck? And I guess they wanted to make it a little bit more difficult because you're having to escort her. But I was just like, is it gonna, like, I don't remember it being like this. Are there just gonna be like random guards spawning everywhere until I can get her where she needs to be? And so I just thought it was really annoying because I cleared everybody out and then people literally just started like appearing. But I collected dog tags like a motherfucker, I'll tell you that. Isaac, have you gotten better at holding people up?
No, because I had no idea how to do it until I've beat the game, and the only dog tag I got was Stillman's dog tag.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to know that's the only one you can get unless you actively try to get them.
I tried to like I didn't know how to do it, so I would tranquilize them, and then I would like pick them up and drop them, pick them up and drop them, and like do that really quick because I heard that you have to quote unquote shake them. So I was like, oh, maybe if I pick them up and drop them really quick, then I'll drop a dog tag.
I just like the idea of like turning a corner and seeing the spy just like dropping a man on the ground over and over and over.
So yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
So that was that.
That's funny. Well, yeah, cool. Sam, can you lead us from the elevator to our next place?
So we're trying to get back into the strat. I can't remember the strat number, the letter, but it's somewhere on strat 2. So
I
we
think it's
essentially have
L.
to L. Yeah, I think so. So we have to lead Emma from Shell to strut L by the hand, otherwise she doesn't come with you. And I think you have to take care of a guard on the way there, and then you get to the door and it's locked, and then a cutscene happens and it's like, I don't have the card for this door. And Emma has the card for that door, and she gives it to Ryden, and she goes, "Are you impressed?"
Oh yeah.
And then Ryden goes, "You should have told me you had this." And she goes, "Well, you didn't ask."
Jesus
like,
Christ.
you children, calm the fuck down. So you deal with that, and you get into Strut L, and you got to deal with some guards that are just hanging around there that you can't really see because there's no map in this place yet, and there's a couple guards ahead, but the angle is stupid, so you got to go into first person to actually see where they are.
Yeah, and don't get too close, because I made that mistake, and
Yeah, they will see you.
getting spotted sucks, because you'll leave EE by the door, and then you'll get spotted. And I didn't realize that the team coming in will literally fucking blow EE away. Like, they come in, and like they're not coming for you. Like, if they see her first, they're just gonna lay into her.
Yeah. So I got caught, and I abandoned her in there while I waited for the alert to go down. When I went back in, she was there and she was fine, but the alert was gone.
Oh, huh.
So I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's weird, because I definitely, so I was going to do the exact same thing, and then I heard gunfire, and I saw EE's health meter dropping, and I was like, fuck. So I ran over there, and then it was a bloodbath, and so I just ended up restarting.
Yeah, if you leave the strut, like go into the last area on the connecting bridge, her life bar disappears and the alert starts going down. And then if you go back in after the alert, she's just like in the fetal position on the floor. And you can just grab her hand and escort her again.
Nice. You can wait 30 minutes for her getting up animation.
Pretty much.
Nice. Isaac, did you have any issues with this part?
I did the first time. And I think I pretty much ran into the same thing you guys did. But I think it wasn't too bad, I don't think. I mean, I popped the two guard. There are two guards in there, I think, and I just pow.
Oh yeah.
That was about it. You know? That's all you. But it was kind of annoying how the angles weren't really to your advantage.
Yeah.
How dare they build that strut that way? Cool. Well, my only note for the climbing is that for the ladder climb and what happens after is that the cinematography on the sunset shot is really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a great job.
That whole stretch of stuff is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like in a cinematic sense.
The music is really good too for the sniping portion. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So Isaac, before Sam and I blow your mind about Johnny Sasaki round 2, do you want to tell us a little bit about what happens on this connecting bridge down in the water?
Sure. So when we get down to the bottom of the ladder, we find that there's like this janky bridge or something like that, and we have to get all the way across, but it's only good enough for one person. So Ryden, the chivalristic guy that he is, tells Emma to go, and he'll cover for her. And I think Snake calls in and says, "I can help you guys out." And then you're off to the races.
What if he said that and then blew Emma away and was like,
Rose told me.
Rose PayPal'd me.
Oh my god. Snake calls you and says, if you need any help, just call me and I'll help you
Yeah.
out. So if you're being a sloppy boy, you can call Snake and just look at the thing that you want blown up, and then that'll be all
But
you
I
need
think
to do.
the
Snake will
second...
just shoot.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh.
I was done.
Oh, okay. I think the second stretch is like almost impossible to snipe. Is it
Without Snake?
Without Snake. Like I tried
I
a
think
couple
it's
times.
possible, but it's very difficult.
Oh.
I just called Snake right away because I know in the past I've had difficulty with it, so I was just like, fuck it.
Oh. Well, there you go.
I think it is
That's what I did.
possible. Well, actually, I was going to say, I don't think it is. Excuse me. I don't think it's possible to just call him and have him do everything for you.
No, you need a help.
Yeah.
But I
it's
think
tough.
it's not. I don't think it's possible to do the second part by yourself.
Yeah.
I think.
And Therm G's thermal goggles, fucking super handy because. So I'm playing I was playing this on the Vita, and my note literally says the Vita sniping section is fucking abysmal and terribly not optimized for the Vita. Because the little thumbsticks are hyper fucking sensitive, and so even popping the Penazemon like constantly, it was a fucking nightmare to hit everything. And so
Is that how that's pronounced?
that's how I pronounced it. I don't know.
Because I say Pentazimon.
Oh, that works for me. But so with the thermal goggles on, the whole first bridge, you almost have to just exclusively snipe claymore mines, which is fine. And then there's some guards and shit. What sucked for me, man, is like I couldn't hit a guard in the head or hit the cipher in the camera to get the one shots to save my life. So I literally just had to fucking use the PSG-1 like a machine gun and was just like pa 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 pa, like anytime I had to kill anybody.
It's really hard to get shots off, even here in like a minute, especially here in like a minute. When we deal with somebody, it's really hard to get shots off on people like accurately, even with the Pentasmin going.
I don't know, man. It's weird because I definitely remember having memories of playing this on the PS2 constantly and never having the sniping be an issue. And I don't know, like, I mean, I need to go back down and catch up on the PS3 version. That way I can compare the two accurately. But I just feel like the Vita, with the screen being so small and the thumbstick being, I mean, it's not small, it's fucking huge for a handheld. But for this game, which was not made for a handheld, it was insanely difficult to like pop off the shots when I needed to. And I will say the second phase where she's like Isaac was saying, she's like going away from you kind of horizontally, I guess. And it's got the little pillars that kind of obscure your vision. There's fucking claymores in there, and I did not see them the first time, and she got blown away, and I had to redo the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
and it's
no,
a
I feel
nightmare.
I feel like somebody mentioned that, and I put on the thermal goggles right away. I was like, oh, there is a line of just claymores here. And I took care of them right away. But somebody, I think Snake mentioned that there might be mines. They might have planted mines on the oil fence.
Yeah, it was just, as soon as she fell off and I had to restart on the Vita, I was like, oh my God, I have got to take a break. Like,
Yeah.
it was, I mean, I don't know. And again, it may have been the fact that I, for part of this, was like playing in a car. So like on top of everything else, I was having to deal with like movement in life. It was too much for me. But Sam, what happens next? You mentioned a special guest. Tell us about the
Yes.
guest.
So when Emma goes around the backside of the struts where you can't see her, you can use a directional microphone to hear what she's saying, and she said some stuff around the backside of the first one, just about Raiden and like whether or not his hair is real or stuff like that, which is great.
I love it.
When you get around the backside of the second one, Emma runs into our old friend Johnny Sasaki, who freaks out that she's there and is pretty much going to let her go. Because essentially he says, you need to stay away from women when you're on the battlefield because you're going to get diarrhea. And then proceeds to get diarrhea and lets Emma go.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Wow.
And if you got the first Johnny message,
Yeah.
and then you get
Yep,
this
you get
one,
a
then you pop your trophy.
Trophy called Johnny on the Spot.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
I will say, for the record, I'm not like a trophy kind of guy. Like, I don't, at the end of the day, I could give a fuck if I have all the trophies for a game. But in replaying this, I was like, oh, it might be kind of fun to like actually use this as just like a checklist of shit to see, I guess. So it was kind of fun.
Cool.
But yeah, so Sam, tell us about the other guest.
The other guest, well, as you're as you're rounding the corner and Emma's about to be home free, who the fuck comes but Vampire Jesus to ruin the fucking day? Vamp comes running on the water and takes Emma hostage, and it's your job to snipe him, and so you could free Emma. And she's making some really like not nice noises when he's choking her to death. And this was really really difficult for me to get a shot off on him here, and it was mostly luck that I actually did. But you gotta shoot him, and you shoot him in the brain, and he falls down to the depths to his apparent actual death, but who the fuck knows at this point. And Snake runs down to get her, and you find out that Vamp has stabbed her, and she's not gonna make it very long, and you gotta get to the Shell 1 core.
And thankfully, it's all done via cutscene.
Oh my god, yeah. So they have the common fucking courtesy to put you in to put you on Strut East. You don't have to walk, and then walk all the way there. And then they also have the common fucking courtesy to give you the game conceit that all of the guards have been evacuated because Arsenal gear is going to go online. So you don't have to deal with any guards except for like one dude wearing headphones in Strut E, which you could just run past him.
Yeah. So you could effectively just like watch all these cutscenes and then hold an analog stick and be done.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So
Which is très magnifique.
yeah. Again, I'm just gonna further iterate that playing this portion of the game on the Vita is a fucking nightmare, and the Vamp thing was atrocious.
Yep.
I literally
I bet.
I got to the point where I was just like, I'm just gonna randomly line it up and just fucking pop a shot and pray, because
Yeah.
like if you fail this part, it actually just resets from that part. So I was like, whatever, like I don't even care anymore. But Isaac, how was your dance with the Vampire Jesus?
This one was not too bad for me. I kind of did just what you... I noticed that I don't think his head moved too much. So I would just line it up to his head, and when the shot was clear, I just, did a couple shots to the brain.
Shots.
Bro. And yeah, it was... Vamp should be dead now, right, guys?
Maybe. Yeah, sweet. So as everybody's alluding to, we're bringing these star-crossed lovers back together.
God.
So we get to the Shell 1 core B2, where the stupid fucking parrot is. And as Sam mentioned, all of the guards have been evacuated. Pray tell the one man with the headphones on, because he apparently didn't hear the evacuation. And we get down here and we get treated to a lot of cutscenes. And the rest of the episode is going to be us talking about these cutscenes.
Well, hold on. Don't we have to? Don't we have a time limit to get to?
I believe that we do. So that
we
she
do,
can
but
put
it's
in the virus.
but it's so easy to get from where they put you to there without any problems that you might as well not have one.
I just thought I'd mention
Did the time limit
it's
affect
there.
you, Isaac?
I just wanted to.
Isaac, did you die?
No.
Did the one guard that was left kill you?
I was just gonna say how easy it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if this time limit did affect you, please write in and let us know. But clearly we're all Elite Pro MLG gamers, so we got straight to the core. But yeah, Sam, what happens once we get to the heart of things?
Well, you get to the heart of things, and Snake and everybody else is freaking out because the virus has stopped uploading at 90%, and something's wrong. And Emma starts to die, and like
For a
takes
long time.
off, yeah, for a prolonged period of time, and takes off Hal's glasses for some reason.
So he can see her better, silly.
Yeah. And then she dies, and then here comes Otacon's emotional trauma
Oh
for
god,
this game.
I can hear the tears.
With like another clip you need to put in here is his fucking wailing sobs. I dare not emulate them accurately for fear of alerting all of the dogs in the neighborhood.
You and me, we're the same.
But yeah, no, he like freaked out about losing her. Turns out, the reason why he didn't save her when she was drowning in the swimming pool was because he was too busy sleeping with her mother.
Hooray!
Dun-dun-dun.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so that's why the accident happened. He was being seduced by her mother while she was drowning in a pool,
Hey,
and that's
man.
why he wasn't there for her.
Hey man, don't victimize the male in this situation. I think he was just as guilty as she was.
Well, no, I'm saying seduced because
Those were
that's
his
what
words.
he said.
Yeah.
He said she seduced me.
She just
So it's like-
opened her pants and stared at
It's
my
like,
heart.
nah, you just wanted to go to Bone Zone with your stepdad.
Oh.
dog.
Oh,
But yeah, so that was happening there.
I wish we
I'm-
I wish we named our episodes for MGM the way that we named the episodes for the Geek Time podcast, because this would definitely be called Hal Rides the Bone Roller Coaster.
We can always start
That's true, but then people won't know what this is.
Hal in the Bone Zone. So what I'm trying to figure out, so he gets the bird out of the cage, and the bird is like saying, "Hal, I miss you,
Oh god.
Hal," and it like causes him to break down emotionally even more. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck the bird is not terrified by his constant wailing.
Yeah, it just like lives on his shoulder, nice and
Yeah.
easy.
Because like any other creature, not even a bird, but like any living thing would like not want to be near him.
Yes.
And he's talking about how he's like always the survivor, and he brings up Sniper Wolf and how she died even though he was in love with her for some reason because they barely knew each other, but whatever.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting that EE definitely kind of has the hots, but simultaneously despises Otacon. And it's
Yeah.
very strange to me. But I don't know. It's just weird to me to like hate and want to bone somebody at the same time. Like,
And it's a thing.
want to have it not be like hate fucking. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I love and
okay.
I hate you.
Right. Okay, that's not a thing.
I don't know. It was just really
I
weird.
redact my statement.
Dallin says.
oh.
Yeah, Dallin says. Oh my god, come
But
on,
yeah,
man.
so thanks to the virus only getting 90% of the way completed, Snake's just like, we gotta get in there and fight. And
Yeah. Wait, so really quick, so before we get to that, Snake's like, Otacon, you gotta get it together. We need you to rescue all the hostages. So he's like jumping between being okay to collapsing on the ground wailing again. But like Snake's like, I believe in you. You can do this.
Yeah.
You need to get those hostages out. You're the only one who can do it. And then they do like the broiest fucking secret handshake I've ever
love
in the secret handshake business.
I love it.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I forgot about it too, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, show notes for sure. You like check the show notes
Oh
to
my
see
god!
the dopest
Watch
handshake
this.
ever.
Watch the dopest, broiest secret handshake you've ever seen.
I'm excited to get to Metal Gear Solid 4 to see if they do another broy handshake.
I don't remember them doing one, but I could be wrong. I forgot about this one, so who knows?
Yeah, I definitely remember a long time ago people sending clips of this via YouTube to people to just be like, "Great job, bro." But it's real good.
I feel like the only other secret handshake I've seen. So, do you guys know of 21 Pilots, the band?
My sister likes that band.
They're a very good band. They're from Ohio, just for the record. So, very good. But they have a song called "Stressed Out," and like halfway through the song, they cut the song, and the singer walks up to the drummer's door, and they do one that is almost as good as this one, but not quite as good. So if you could link the...
Is it in the music video or is it in the
It's
song?
in the music video.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
I
in the
was like,
music
how
video,
do you
so...
cut to him going to the drummer's front door?
It's just like... And that's all you hear in the song.
That'd be amazing.
No, but like, it definitely link the Stressed Out music video in the show notes, because like, I would like to... here's something I want to hear feedback about. Guys, watch the Metal Gear Solid... Bro Shake, and then watch the Bro Shake from the Stressed Out music video. Tell us which one you think is better.
I got one more contender. I'm going to post a link to the Bro Shake from Predator at the beginning in the pool hall.
Oh.
And you need to tell me which one is better.
Oh, damn. Tournament of Bro Shakes here. This isn't Metal Gear Mondays anymore. This is the Tournament of Bro Shakes.
Yes, so tune in to 2 weeks from now to find out who the winner of the Bro Shake tournament is.
The Bro Down, as it were.
Prokin tournament, if you will.
Oh my god. Anyway. So
yeah.
after Otacon goes on his way, the fucking ninja shows up.
And what does it say?
Well, the ninja is fucking... It was Olga the whole time.
Isaac, what did you think of that?
That was the
Was your mind
easiest
blown?
twist to... No, I actually was pretty blown away by that.
Nice.
Well, it's good that it got you, because I was worried about that, because looking back at it now, I was like, the ninja has a Russian accent, and it's the only other character the only other main character in this game that's still alive with a Russian accent is Olga, and I was hoping that you didn't figure it out.
But the voices are so
Modulated.
wildly different. I don't know.
Yeah.
They use the voice modulator.
Well, I definitely made sure, so for the listeners at home, we're actually trying to keep spoilers to a minimum, not just for you guys, but so that I can genuinely hear Isaac's reactions.
Yeah.
And so I very much so tried to just use like gender neutral pronouns every time we talked about the ninja, because I almost said she at one point, and I was like, shit.
Oh.
So
You better be glad I
sweet.
didn't catch that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so essentially the ninja and Snake are in cahoots, and turns
Olga
out
Ninja
that
and-
they knew the whole time.
Yep. And Snake and Raiden is like, have you betrayed me? And he says, I don't remember saying I was on your side.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And then like Olga says something about needing to go the long way around or something like that, and then knocks Raiden out.
And then that's where our episode ends.
That is where our episode ends. And it's Bye Bye Big Shell. Hello, Arsenal gear.
Hello, Rectum, I think. I cannot remember the name of the first zone.
The Giganum.
Yeah, FYI, if you pause the game, you know how it normally shows the map and everything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll show.
Yeah, once you get to Arsenal, it just gets real weird. Like, real weird. And
Yeah, like the game is just stops giving a fuck at this point.
Yeah, all the names
So-
for the zones in Arsenal are kind of disturbing.
Well, they're actual like parts of the like internal body organs,
Yeah.
and it's like you're traveling through
stomach.
that part. So you go through like the jejunum and the ascending colon and the rectum and the
Yeah.
fucking like ugh.
Dude, I cannot wait until we get into like post MGS2 coverage and we can just have a whole episode about like crazy fucking theories, because boy are there plenty.
Yeah.
So-
Oh my god.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows as well, due to the way that timing happened, we tried to. So again, this is us trying to keep everything within its own sort of verisimilitude to where we're not playing ahead and pretending or whatever. So we put way too much fucking work into this, and we try to play along concurrently with each episode instead of beating the whole game at the beginning of the season. Specifically, A, like I mentioned, so that Isaac can kind of be genuine, but B, so that we can kind of be fresh about what we talk about. But anyway, due to scheduling, we have all essentially been finished with the game. Everything, all bets are off next episode, so fuck it, like we're going full hog heaven.
Making a full hog outer heaven.
Oh yes.
We're making the fuck it adjustment.
Yes. And likewise too, we heard from a couple people, not necessarily the same phrasing, but we've heard some feedback from some fans that they love what we're doing, but they kind of want to hear a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily, like, we're not really reviewing, and we're not really just kind of, like, giving you a play-by-play. People kind of want to hear a little bit more sort of conjecture and, like, theorizing and stuff. And the contents of this next episode, proper.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted theorizing.
Yeah, it's made perfect for that. So, and likewise, too, us shifting away from having the fan mail read in the same episode as the content of the game, it will give us more room to discuss shit. So,
Indeed.
if you want to keep that going and you want us to discuss shit, please write in so that we have enough content to make up the extra episodes.
Please ride in.
Yes. Cool.
I hate myself.
Before Alessio converts every cast member of this show into being localization people for the next Dragon Quest Rocket Slime.
For the next Nino Kuni.
Yeah, where we're just gonna be pun fucking masters by the end of it.
We're gonna be pun believable.
Oh my god. I wanted to get everybody's sort of last comments on the Big Shell before we dive into sort of wrap up. So Isaac, what did you think of your time on the Big Shell?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was not the greatest, not the worst.
There's a poem that I know that has a line like that. It was the best of days, and it was the worst of days.
No, I liked it a lot. It was very challenging for me, at least, and this part added a lot of variety to the game, where it was not straight run and gun. It was a lot of stepping back, and kind of the pacing kind of took a step back, and I don't know. I would give it a straight 91% alcohol.
Yes, for a second I was like, please don't give it a numeric value, because we fell into that trap. And then I was like, yes, Isaac didn't do it.
Not just 91% alcohol, 91% isopropyl alcohol.
Oh man.
Geez,
So
man.
it's almost pure.
I'm gonna give it a bear claw out of a baker's dozen of donuts.
I'm gonna give it a tiramisu out of birthday cake ice cream.
Oh,
Nice. Isaac, Shadow Moses or Big Shell? Go.
Oh Jesus!
oh, what?
No, I think Shadow Moses is 100% a better location for a game, but
Yeah.
I agree. I liked all the callbacks though.
Totally.
Like the callbacks to Shadow Moses and all the things that happened were very well done. And I think the Big Shell is. We're gonna get into more about what that was for here soon, but the Big Shell is a pretty good location.
I think it's
good.
interesting, looking at just like the architecture, it's interesting to me that, like, especially after playing VR missions for the show. So just follow me down this rabbit hole for a second. So take the map of Shadow Moses, right? If you were to strip all of the texture off of Shadow Moses and it was just like the wireframe that like they use when they make the game, and then you were to just like maybe make some like random bridges on that wireframe and maybe like add like a building texture here and there. Is the big shell to you not like a weird fucking skeleton of Shadow Moses? You know what I mean? Like it feels like a really weird, like if you were to just completely cut all, like if you were to put like a background of snow and some mountains in the background and like reskin the buildings, like I feel like the big shell is like Shadow Moses with all of the character removed on purpose.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see
Because it's
that.
like oddly geometric as well. So
Yeah, well, I mean, all the hexagonal shapes of all the struts are like kind of make it that way.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I can see where you're coming from on that one. That's really it's really weird. And I think as we get into more of the crazy stuff in the next episode, we'll kind of wax philosophical about that a bit more.
Sweet. Sam, what did you think of the big shell?
I thought it was good. I like it. I think the fact that it was kind of devoid of the character that Shadow Moses had actually kind of made it unique in its like what am I trying to say? Unique in its existence, I guess.
Yeah, it's very sterile.
Yeah, which is just really interesting when you kind of think about like the themes of the game and what's going on, and especially looking back, knowing the things I know about what happens, like looking back on it, it's just like, wow, that was actually a pretty interesting and unique way to go about this. So,
Nice.
so I like it.
Oh, cool. And it makes for a hell of a skate park, which you will discover in the
Oh my
VR missions
God.
episode.
Oh my God, yes, it does.
Well, sweet guys. I'm just gonna do my last little round of admin notes. As always, give us rate and review us on iTunes, because that helps people see the show and that helps people come to the show. If you're not part of the Apple ecology or ecosystem, definitely check us out.
Ecology.
Check us out on SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/GeekTimePod, and that is the whole network of shows. Please share that link with anybody via email or whatever if you can't do the iTunes thing. We have a Facebook page, which is still pretty new. I think right now we're close to like 50 people.
Last time I checked, we were sitting at 45.
Nice. We've got quite a lot of people commenting, and I try to post at least like one Metal Gear related news story every couple of days. So we've been discussing like new Kojima productions and different stuff like that. So
We're trying to make it a gathering place for the people who like the show and the people who like us, like Metal Gear. Because we've gotten a couple people whose feedback was like, I don't have people to talk to about Metal Gear with. Which used to be the case for me and Alessio, because until I started talking, and I know it's the same for you, until I started talking to you and like became friends with you, Alessio, I didn't have anybody to talk to about the series with. This show has really helped with that, and we want to kind of give you guys a place where you can feel the same way and like talk to people who feel the same way about the series as you do, and then also talk to people who like the show, because if you like the show, then you're obviously a person with good taste, and you want to talk to other people with good taste.
yeah. Well, and likewise too, I'm going to try and make a better habit of posting sort of like the show note style links. So specifically moving into all the Arsenal Gear stuff and the end game content, when we start talking about different fan theories, or we start talking about different websites dedicated to an analysis of the series and stuff like that, I'll definitely start posting those. I'll try not to deep dive too terribly much and give you guys like fucking 30-page essays to read. But if you're into that, I might post it as well. So just let us know. Don't forget that from now on, we're going to play with this new format. So every off week will be listener responses. So if you're wondering, where are the listener responses? I want the mailbag. Mailbag is going to have its own dedicated episode with deleted scenes. So if you want to check out TJ or his cool band, or if you want to hear us rant about shit that happened before and after the recording today, or if you want any sort of answers to your Metal Gear questions, We're not experts by any mean, but we'll give you our opinion. So if you've got a Metal Gear lore question, or if you've got...
So we will certainly pretend to be experts for you.
Yes, exactly. So treat us like a codec channel. If you guys want to just call us, ask us a quick question.
Our frequency is 140 point fuck you.
Yeah. Listeners, the president needs you, I think. That's going to be my response to everyone. And that's Sam Wright, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. He's dying. Sam's gone, everybody.
Oh, wow, yeah. The president needs you, I think. Holy shit, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Do you guys have anything that you want the listeners to check out? Is there anything I missed, Sam? I guess our Twitter. Check us out on Twitter.
So the Facebook page for this show is facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays. It's on the Geek Time Network, which you can go online to geekti.me to find the rest of this show and our other shows.
Cool stuff.
You can also go to @GeekTimePod on Twitter, and the link for Facebook is Geek Time Pod for our official page there. Another thing too, we have a Patreon. So if you feel inclined to kind of help us make this show and our other shows and just the network experience better for you guys, even $1 a month would help out a lot, and we would thank you very much if you wanted to do that. So that's something there. Also stay tuned. We've got a couple new shows coming in this new year. Which one of my favorite ones is my show, May We Have a Word, which is kind of a auditory trip through the world of language, I guess is what I'd say.
Join Sam Wright as he pretends to be Skullface and wipes out. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ. Okay. No. Essentially, so I have guests on the show, and I talk to them get anecdotes and kind of stories about specific words, and we just talk about a word. I've done a couple episodes with Alessio. I've had some really cool people on the show, including one with my own father.
You haven't had one with Isaac.
I haven't. I'm planning on it. I just need to get my shit together and get one of those going. But I had one with my dad, and that was a really, really cool episode. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming mid-January.
The pilot's out. That's awesome.
Yes. So if you go onto the feed for the Geek Time podcast, which is our kind of like core show, on Christmas Day we didn't have an episode on that Friday because holidays. So I released kind of a demo reel of kind of clips from the show from certain guests talking about the words. So if you kind of want to get an idea for what it's going to be like, definitely check that out. It's about 10 minutes long, so it's not going to take you long to listen to. But check that out and give me some feedback on that. You can tweet me at SamWrightDPS on Twitter, or you can email me samw@geekti.me. So definitely check that out.
Sweet. And a matter of fact, if we all get together physically at the end of March, you should talk to Isaac and also talk to Kristen about doing a May We Have a Word. Because, and this is going to be really weird. Fun fact for everybody. So my wife doesn't get very, very excited to meet friends of mine, particularly friends of mine that are like into video games and shit, because she's not like hyper into games. But for some reason, between me and Sam's Snapchat conversations around New Year's and just in general from like listening to Sam on the podcast and stuff, Kristen's like really excited to meet you, Sam, and she's like really excited for you to come over.
I'm Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No, that'd be hilarious. Actually,
I'm totally joking.
That would be ridiculous.
I'm totally joking.
But yeah, cool. Isaac, you got any things for the listeners to remember besides the fact that they owe you some songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, still no songs for Isaac.
That's right. Still an empty inbox. Something exciting happened in the between episodes. I got a Twitter for this.
What?
For something.
Oh man. What was it, Isaac?
Well, it wasn't doesn't have a Twitter because apparently the character length is too long. So I went with the maximum length of doesn't have a twit. And that's you guys can tweet me at doesn't have a twit.
Oh my god,
So I love
this
that.
is
Thank you.
amazing. So I'm following that
Yeah.
like right now.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Well, sweet guys, you heard it here. You pressured Isaac into starting a Twitter account.
That he hasn't tweeted from yet.
Yeah, no. I just created it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well then.
Cool.
So Isaac,
Hi.
do you have anything else that the listeners need to remember?
Something about cardboard. Is it just a box?
I think it is.
It's just
It's
a
just a
box.
box.